Hey everybody, welcome to Willow57. This is another episode of Scrapbooking with me. I didn't do a video last week because I was on a mission trip to Monument Valley. Would like to take this moment to thank all of you who supported that trip and those of you who supported my next trip, which I'm going to Subic a week from Sunday. So today I wanted to get on here real quick and do another episode of Scrapbooking. If you've been following along, you know that this is simple. I'm not doing anything too greatly detailed. Last time we did a few pages of my school memorabilia, showing you a few tricks of how to get everything into your scrapbook, but still have it accessible and not take up too much space. And today's going to be the same. I'm going to be working on my senior year, my graduation, and then probably a year or two following that, just to fill in and get some of this memorabilia in here. I've got a few things. And I had an epiphany this past week. While I was on my trip, I picked up some more memorabilia that's going to be going in my book. So I thought, man, this series could go on for eternity. I'm not saying that it will, but it can, because every trip that I take, you know, as we live our lives, we just collect more and more memorabilia of it. If you're living it right, anyway, I say. We should be full of memories and good things that the Lord has provided for us and opportunities that He's given us. So that's my take on it. And so I want to memorialize the things that God has let me come through. And one of them is graduation. If you followed along in the last couple of videos, I did do some of my report cards in here. And if you looked very closely, you know that it was a miracle in itself that I graduated. So thank you, God, for that. So this is a big moment for me that I did. See, here's my name. Sandra K. Cornell. I was even student council representative. I made it work. So this is what I'm going to be working on today. I've got a few other things too that I want to add. So just follow along. On this one, I'm just going to tack it to this. I'm going to use my Gorilla Glue stick. I found, as far as glue sticks go, this is my personal favorite. I think every crafter probably has their own favorite, but for me, this tends to stick better and longer. Now, it is acid free, so therefore it's photo safe, and that's important if you're putting pictures or things that you don't want the acid to eat away, which I'm not real sure how it does on ink. So it may be glad that you did it on something like this as well. So there's that. That's in. No big deal. I left a little bit of writing space so I can write about the memories of my graduation. It was a good time. I had some family that came in from Michigan for it, so I had good memories. Okay, so then, let's see. I don't know if I can get all this on. This is a caricature, I don't know how to say that I got done on my senior trip. I bought a dog that was a puppet. I know, strange. And got a picture. This was, I believe, at Six Flags in Fort Worth, Dallas area. That's where we went on our senior trip. It was a lot of fun. So what I think I'm going to do with this, because it is so big, is hole punch it and put it in the middle, because then I could still open it, even though there will be holes in it. But, you know, what else am I going to do with it? I don't want it hung in my house, so ta-da! So I think I'm going to pull it up like this to where there's a little bit overhang on both sides. And there's that. How do I want this? Probably like this. And that, again, is another great reason to use the rings. in your scrapbook because then it's easy to add things to it. I have decided, though, looking through my book, I probably need to go ahead and graduate into the bigger rings because I'm already making this thing pretty fat. And I've got a lot of pages still to fill. So this thing's going to be a monster by the time it's done. And like I've already stated, I keep getting more memorabilia. So this is going to be a never-ending process. We'll see if I can get all of my life's memorabilia in one book. I highly doubt it, but who knows? So that's cute, right? Yeah. All right. And then the next thing, oops, sorry. Okay, so I had really good friends in the class after me that graduated, and so I kept their high school thing. This, a very good friend of mine, her whole family's very good friends of mine. I've known her since she was like 3 years old, walked her to kindergarten her first day of school, and 1 year she gave me this and I kept it. I'm a softie. This is from when my cousin Tony graduated. He was like a brother. This right here, when I first moved to Arkansas, I didn't know anybody, and we moved into the middle of nowhere. If you're from around this area, I lived in Bog Springs, and I mean literally out in the middle of nowhere. And I didn't have any friends the first year that I was here, or half a year. I was homeschooled, so I didn't even have school friends. But I did have one dear friend who lived up the road from me. She was an elderly lady, probably close to her 90s at this point, or already in her 90s. And she was just the sweetest soul. And I spent a lot of time at her house. We'd play games, and she'd always give me treats. And, you know, I was lonely, and she always was my friend. And for whatever reason, one time she gave me a whole envelope full of her old, a whole bunch of old stamps and old envelopes. That some of them were from her husband, whom I'd never even met. This was from 1951, 52. I don't know if she just knew that I really liked, you know, stationery type stuff or what, but she gave them to me, and I've never found anything that I want to do with them, afraid of losing them or whatever. I have used some of the stamps, most of the stamps I've used, but I still have these envelopes, and I thought I would just add them in there. It's just a little memory of her, Miss Doris. I love her. And so that's kind of what I've got, are these things right here. So what I'm thinking about doing is just attaching this like I did mine onto the back. They had a poem in there, so I just stapled it to it, and then there's a poem on the back. So that'll stay with it. And then just attach this to this. I'm probably going to move it over here to the side so I can write if I choose to on here. Again, I'm going to use, you know what, because it's thicker, I think I'm going to go ahead and use my Aleene's tacky glue. And I haven't been here in a while, so this glue is probably all the way to the bottom. I usually store it upside down so this doesn't happen, but for whatever reason, the last time I put it in my cup, it wasn't upside down. Sorry. Maybe. Not even going to happen. Okay, you know what? I'm going to store this over here for a few minutes upside down. We'll come back to that. We'll go ahead and do these things. This right here, I'm going to do another envelope flip, and so I'm going to attach this here, but I'm going to cut that down so that it doesn't take up this whole space, because I'm not sure yet what I want on this side. So therefore, I'm going to get my paper cutter, because I, for the life of me, cannot cut a straight line with scissors. So I rely heavily on this thing. And even then it comes out crooked sometimes. You know, it takes a special talent, friends, to cut a crooked line with a paper cutter. But I proudly have that talent. All right, let me see. I'm actually going to do this on the bottom, down here. And I'm going to do double adherent. I'm going to put this on there. And then I'm also going to use washi tape to kind of hold it down even better. Like so. Hope you're seeing all this okay. I had my box. Sorry if I'm jiggling the camera. My washi tape is up top. And I think I'm going to just do, let's do a leaf. Green, that's pretty. Okay, and so this just kind of holds your envelope in place a little better, just to make sure that it's not coming up. Adds a little bit of excitement to your page. If you don't have washi tape, however, you can use regular tape. There's no right or wrong for this. I have all the gadgets and stuff, so I'm going to be using them from time to time, but you can do yours however you choose. And so then what I thought would do, I can't cut off any of that because that's kind of cute, that Happy Valentine's. So I'll just adhere this like this. So both of these are now still accessible. And I'm just going to use clear tape on this one so that it doesn't cover up the Happy Valentine's Day. Miss Kimmy. Muffin was what we called her, was her nickname back then. I think she's kind of outgrown that now. She's a mother of several boys. She probably don't like to be called Muffin much anymore. Oh, that's the end of my tape. That's okay. So I just adhered that really good. And so now both of those are like that. And then what I'm going to do with this one is adhere it to the top. So then I have a kind of a triple stack. This will come up, these will go out, and then this will be in here like that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So how I'm going to adhere this, because this one does not have a flap, or does it? Oh, it has a secret flap. Let's see if I can get it out. Look at there. It does have a flap. Great. So what I can do here is adhere this side. But again, because I don't want to take up so much space of this page, I'm going to cut it down a little bit. Again, using, of course I covered it up with the washi tape and the regular tape. Smart, smart. My paper cutter to cut this down enough to where it can fold over, but yet not take up quite as much space on the page. Yay. Okay. So that's going to go like this. And then I will use the same green washi tape that I used before. And I will also glue it with my glue stick. Double tap, right? Making sure that it stays really good. So the trip to Monument Valley, oh wow. If you have never been to that area, I highly suggest that every blue-blooded American needs to go to Monument Valley. I mean, it's one of the 7 wonders of the world, and trust me, it is a wonder. And our services with All Inca, Mona Hill, was just amazing. What a hungry, beautiful group of people. Just the Navajo people are just beautiful. It was my first time to go to Monument Valley with her. She's gone many years, and It's the first time I'd gotten to go, and my husband Steve got to go with me. That was his first major mission trip that he's ever got to go on with me. So that was a really great trip, having him there. My daughter Ashley and her friend Zoe from California was with us. And then there was a whole slew of others from around the United States, actually, that came and helped. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful trip. Okay, let's see if this glue is ready to be a part of this game yet. Looky there. So just kind of glue, glue, glue. It doesn't take a whole lot. If you put too much glue on paper, it begins to wrinkle. And that just is ugly. So just kind of spread it around till everything's good and glued. And then plop it down. Not hard. You kind of smush it to make sure all the glue is sticking. And then voila, you've got this. I'm really excited about how this is all turning out. I'm loving the fact that I'm getting all my stuff in one place, and it looks a little bit more together, I guess, and not just in a box, you know. So I think that's where I'm going to stop for today. 2 full pages and plus an add-on. That's pretty good. So that you could also do like this, if that works better. And another trick, that if you have envelopes like this and they, you know, when you go to turn them, they kind of flop around. If you add a paper clip to it, of course I can't find a big one to save my life, right? Here's one. A paper clip. Say that I'm going to do it like this. Well, nope, I'd have to have 2 paper clips for that piece. Let's do it like this. One and done, right? Let's see if it'll fit this way. Yeah, see? And then I'll hold that in place when you turn pages, but you can just take it right off to look underneath. And that kind of holds it all in place. And another really cool thing that you can do if you want to get really creative is add a little something to the end to make a little dangle on there. I'll show you one of the things I like to do real quick. If you got any material around, ribbon, anything like that. This is just a piece of it. Actually, this was an old curtain that I had I think in my office when I worked at the church, and this color. And so I've taken the curtain and kind of just made it into strips because it frays really good and I like that look. And so you just take your, not the double side, the single side, your paper clip, and you just tie some of this on there. Sure you do. Well, normal people do. I obviously have trouble with it. Do you see this? Okay, well, that was completely even. And you can, you know, shape it however you want. And then that way, when you put it on the side, it just adds a little something, something to make it a little cute. See? But you don't have to do that. You can do just a normal paper clip if you choose to. But anyway, that's today. That is scrapbooking with me. I know I'm doing this kind of slow and not a whole lot of pages, but I can't have my videos too long because it takes forever to upload them. So I try to keep them short and, you know, kind of to the point. So anyway, thank you guys so much for following along. Again, I'll be doing one more next week, and then I'm going to be taking another week off for my trip. So I covet your prayers for that trip. We're going to be going to Subicu, Arizona, to the White Mountain Apaches. My personal favorite. I love. I've been going 10, 11 years now. I love the people. I love the place. I love it. It's where my heart is on mission trips for sure. So I'll be bringing back more memorabilia. Yay! From that. So the journey continues. Thank you guys for watching. God bless. Bye.